Hey guys, so we have a fun story this morning called The Tiny Seed. It's written by Eric Carle. Now, you probably know some Eric Carle stories, such as The Grouchy Ladybug and The Very Hungry Caterpillar. I know in my class we've read lots of his stories. So let's see what happens in The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. So do you remember how many tiny seeds there were? Let's see if we can see how many there were when it started. 1, that's a tiny one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10, and the first one got burned up when it was flying in the air. So now there's only 9 left. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. Ooh, how do you think it feels on that mountain? I bet it's really cold. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. So there were 9, and this one's stuck on the mountain. How many are left? 9 take away 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 seeds left over. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the other. So there were 8. This one goes bloop and lands in the water. Can a seed grow in the water? Not this kind. There are some, but this is not one of them. So 1's gone. How many are left? 8 take away 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 seeds left. One seed drifts down into the desert. It's hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. So this one lands in the desert. Is he gonna grow? You see the tiny seed, he's kind of down low over here, but he's still moving. There were 7 seeds. This one lands in the desert. How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 seeds left over. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. What is this? A bird comes by and eats 1 seed. The tiny seed is eaten. Oh, the tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird doesn't see it. So there were 6. The bird ate 1. How many are left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. He's so tiny the bird didn't even see him. We got 5 left over. Let's see what happens. Now it is winter. In wintertime, we know it feels how. It's so cold. After their long trip, the seed settles down. They look just as if they were going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse doesn't see it. So there were 5 buried. One got eaten by a mouse. How many is left? 5. Take away 1 is 4. You see them? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, you can't see those. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the mouse is eating that one. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls, the seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Now, they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun in the air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big, fat weed. You see all 4 of these ones? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the big weed. What is he doing? He's blocking them and pushing that one out of the way. And it takes all the sunlight and rainwater away from the small new plants. And that little plant, he dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. See him right there? That's the tiny seed. So there were 4. They started to grow. But this weed came and he knocked this one out of the way. 4. Take away 1 is how many? 3. The warm weather also brings children out to play. Do you like to play in the warm sunshine? They too have been waiting for the sun in the springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along, and oh! He breaks one! Now, it cannot grow anymore. So you have 1, 2, 3. And this big foot, it broke one. So 3 take away 1 is how many? 2. Only 2 more plants growing. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud. And now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Boom, 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 boom. Then the shadow looms over them. And a hand reaches down. What's going to happen to the flower? And the hand breaks off the flower. Somebody just picked the flower. So there were 2. This one got picked. How many are left over? 2 take away 1 flower is 1. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It's taller than the people. It's taller than the trees. It's taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It's the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and the bees and the butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals, and it sways and bends from the wind. But the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pods open. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail on the wind. You see that? The petals are falling. It gets a good whoosh with the wind, and the seed pods open. And where are the seeds going? They're flying out. So what do you think will happen now that these seeds are flying out? Do you think all of these seeds will get to grow? I don't think all of them. But one day some of these seeds are going to plant in the ground, and they too will make a beautiful flower. Did you enjoy this book? This is one of my favorite books every springtime. I hope you liked it.